on Reddit. I asked, hey, tell me your business and I'll give you a spreadsheet idea that you can either sell or give away. And one of these people said, hey, I am creating exercises for family men who are too busy. In fact, they're a trainer, like a personal trainer, for family men who are too busy to go to the gym, to get a personal trainer in person perhaps, cannot spend even 3 to 4 hours a week away from the family or away from work, focused 100%. So I thought of this idea of, hey, what if you could create a list of exercises you can do while doing something else? And then, just truth be told, I am not an expert at this, and this was for this expert. I'm a spreadsheet expert, but this person said they're an expert at this particular thing. So I said, hey, I'll just create this myself as a template that you can use. I just went to ChatGPT and asked, give me a list of exercises I can do while doing other things. Here's a description of them. Here's the duration. A real expert at this will have a lot more information that they could put into here, a lot more annotations, a lot more notes. And I want to show you how to take this sort of basic information and create a really nice lead magnet for this customer that may end up becoming a customer or even inquiring about your services. This is just from ChatGPT. It would be some basic information that even an expert could create on their own, and I'm going to make it way, way more interesting here in a spreadsheet. So first off, I have these columns: exercise, the description, the duration, and the activity, that they can do it while doing something else. So here, they're jumping jacks while watching TV. Directly after getting out of bed, you can do some knee hugs during a work break. There's before getting into bed. So there's a lot of really cool things you can do here during your entire day. But let's make it better. Let's use quicksand first off. I'm going to increase the size a little bit. I am going to highlight the header. The color of the text is the same color as the background, but much different shade. I'm also going to go up to View, Show, and Hide Grid Lines. Let's do purple and deep purple. Go to custom and create a bit of a much shadier. Yeah, that one. Give it a little bit of hint of a color. Much better. Format only. Done. Let's add some checkboxes. Delete the top one so they can just simply check off these things as they do them. I want to make the size of these a little different. The exercises there. Description a little bit longer. This duration, I'm going to do minutes, and I don't want a range here. This, I feel like, looks like too much text. So I'm going to change it to the first one, but I want to do it all together. So let's do split. Take this text, split it by the hyphen. I think it's false. Is that a hyphen? Whatever that is. Let's just copy it. And we only need index, the first one. So row 1, column 1. And it's going to be the number 1, perfect, there. And we just want to copy paste values there and delete that. So we just did index split around there to get the first minutes here. We can also make this centered. And this is starting minutes. Very simple 1 to 3 minute exercises here. You could take each of these exercises and create more intense versions, right? You can say, hey, let's take jumping jacks and just do them longer, right, to have more intensity. This ease, I am not at liberty to say what the ease is, but I know you just do twice as many jumping jacks and that's twice as hard, right? There might be a level up option of doing jumping jacks in a certain way, or a very extreme intensity version. So I have these columns K and L for some expert who wants to add to this and say, here's a more intense version called level up option, and here's the craziest thing you can do for this, even if it's the same amount of duration, 1 to 3 minutes, but you can do it in an extremely intense version. Those columns I'm probably not going to fill out. But this ease, again, I wouldn't be able to fill it out, but I'm going to give someone the option to fill it out. So I'll create a drop down, and let's just put in 1, 2, add another item, 3, 4, 5. Let's color these from blue, dark blue, and let's customize. Actually, cancel. Can we do, I'm just going to do a different thing. Let's make this the highest and customize this down to something in between. Customize here, think I went too far. Customize something that's not as... There it goes. So that is intensity of color there. Done. And instead of F2, we're going to do F2 to F. And I don't particularly like the chip style. I'll just go with arrow. Done. And now, actually, I think this is 2. Let's go back. I think we edited the text. Probably that. There. Let's see. 3. Yeah. Perfect. So now we'll have a gradient here of ease. Blue might not be very good. Maybe we don't even want this red or gray or anything. Maybe we want it to keep it white. I'm going to go back to some gray here. But now we have a really cool drop-down ease here if somebody wants to use it. So now I have a column of chair. So a lot of these are exercises that you're going to do with the things in your life or while you're doing something. And do you need a chair to do this? I would say you can do this a couple ways. You can do this as a drop-down menu or even a checkbox. Just check yes or no. I like to do yes, no here. G2:G. Click done. And again, I'm going to take out this pill or chip. I'm going to change it to arrow. Actually, I might change this one to plain text to get rid of that arrow, but still have the ability to change this to yes. So very quickly, yes or no. I don't know if this is actually yes or no. Here's a way to say yes or no. And I can name this chair. I can say this is ease. I can put all of these in the center, all the headers. Now, isometric, dynamic, same idea as the chair. We're just going to actually have a drop-down menu here that just says isometric and dynamic. And again, as a expert, you can explain what this means. This means, are we doing some kind of holding motion or an actual motion? Sorry, hold or motion. I'm going to change this to arrow so you can see that there is a possibility that there's differences, and there's probably going to be, that I think is dynamic, knee hugs, I don't know what any of these actually are. But again, great way to fill out this data. An expert should fill this out. Target area, again, is going to be a drop-down menu, and a lot of these are drop-down menus for a reason that they're just basically saying it gives a user a way to sort these. So we have legs, maybe you have arms, maybe you have shoulders, a separate back, different areas, not just legs, arms, like the sections of the body, but the type of section could be like joints or muscles or flexibility. You can add more columns for that. I wouldn't put all of those in one column. I would separate them out. Done. Impact is just going to be high or low. So if you're searching for high impact shoulders, you should be able to search for that here or filter it. Let's add another drop-down menu, and this is going to be high or low impact. And impact means like impact on the muscle or impact on the joint or impact on the like body part, right? Not the intensity of it. Let's do J and advanced options, arrow, done. Again, leaving those last two sections or columns up for an expert to really fill out. Also, these activities I'm going to change into a drop-down menu. If I click on drop-down menu, it's going to automatically fill these out, which is really cool. I can color code them as well. After getting out of bed, maybe it's a yellow. Before getting into bed, maybe it's a dark yellow for like sunset. During work break, maybe blue. On a phone call, maybe orange. While brushing teeth is gray. Let's keep it gray. While waiting for coffee, maybe dark orange. While watching TV, maybe dark blue. And you can add more and add more colors here. While brushing teeth, let's change that to actually purple. Clicked on, in this case, in this one case, I'm going to leave it as a pill. So I want to make it very apparent, very big and bold here. So you have your exercise, your description, the number of minutes it takes, and the activity. So someone can come into here and add ease, chair, isometric, dynamic, add target area, impact, and now it would be an amazing lead magnet to say, hey, get this everyday edge, get exercises, 100, 200 exercises that fit your life. But how do I brand them? Here's the interesting part about this, is I can say up here, I want to change this to green, text to white, and I'm just going to say built by bettersheets.co. I'm going to merge this just big enough to include that. I might even take this down a little bit, like 9, and not bold it. Now, this is branded, built by Bettersheets. If I want to, I can do one more step. I can add another sheet and just make it a few columns and a few rows. I'm going to copy this here just for the style. So I'm going to call this, let's make it a little bit bigger. So there, so we created an about page. And I just wrote a little bit about what is Bettersheets, what is Everyday Edge, just that it's a Google Sheet template that I made, that I'm not an expert at this. And we can add more. We can add more questions, answers. We can add more information. We can add more links. We can add anything we want about our business, and it's right here. So now everybody will be able to get this if they copy this sheet. Not from restricted, but to anyone with the link. Now, anyone with this link can view this sheet. If I want to, I can even make a copy here. Make a copy of this sheet. And I'm going to make a link here. Let's actually combine this, merge these, and I'm going to add Command K, paste the link, but instead of edit, I'm going to have /copy. Let's make this really big and white. Make a copy of the sheet. So just clicking this will bring up this dialog. It'll show here, copy document, make a copy. So now anyone that gets this doesn't have to ask you for permission, doesn't have to ask you to gain access. They have access to the sheet and can just click here and make a copy in their Google Drive. What's really cool about this too is this link can be put up here. Let's do that. And put it right here, but make it much smaller. Make a copy of the sheet. I'm gonna move it here. And now just a clickable link inside. So that if somebody has access, they can make a copy of the sheet, use it. There'll be a link in the description on YouTube. Make a copy of it and make a cool lead magnet with lots of annotations and information, searchable database of whatever it is that you do, whatever you're an expert in. Maybe this will be a good starting point for you. Thanks for watching. You're watching Bettersheets here on YouTube. Make sure you check out this video or this video and subscribe right now to get more tips, tricks, how-tos. Get more out of your Google Sheets than you ever have before. Ask me questions down in the comments and I will answer them in future videos. But for right now, right here, one of these videos is going to be your next Google Sheet.